Mollino. This is my husband. I know my class knows that, so I'm letting one, two know that. And he is a bicyclist, and he's going to talk to you today about bike safety. I know that yesterday, Ms. Thurman had you read the article about wearing the helmet correctly, yes? Okay, and then in my class read that as well. So we talked a lot about the importance of wearing a helmet. And Mr. Mollino is going to talk to you about his bike ride, how to properly wear a helmet, and show you his bike and safety rules that you need to know when you're riding. All right, so can we welcome him with a little applause? Thank you.
So with summer break around the corner, obviously you guys will be outside nice and active over the summer. Just to start off, how many of you have bikes? Raise your hands. Skateboards, roller skates? And you ride them through the summer?
Yes.
So when you do that, what is the most important thing that you wear?
Helmet.
Of course. And why are you wearing it?
Mr. Mollino, please call extension 235.
What's that?
It's the one for your arms and for your legs.
Right, for those, that would be for the roller skates and skateboards mostly. You,
You wear your helmet to protect your brain.
that's the perfect answer. Why do you need to protect your brain?
So you
Right. And what would happen if you damage your brain?
you're gonna die.
Not necessarily, but definitely a possibility. You notice how you're all raising your hands and you're responding? That's all controlled by the brain. As you can see by my head, I did suffer an injury to the head. I fell from a telephone pole. I used to be an electrician. Cycling has always been one of my hobbies and all that in life. And wearing a helmet was always something that I advocated for. Because in an accident, it is your first defense against a lot of damage to your head. When I had my injury, I had to learn how to walk, I had to learn how to talk, and everything, between cooking and just general living, all over again. I was 27 at that point. So protecting your head is incredibly important. When you ride a bike, your helmet should always be on. It doesn't matter if you're going down your driveway, it doesn't matter if you're just riding a little segment of sidewalk in front of your house. It only takes one fall. How many of you have helmets? That I like to see. You have bikes, but you don't have helmets at home at the moment? You should talk to your parents so that they do get you one. They are not that expensive. One day, hopefully, there might be something. But it is also the law that you wear a helmet. You don't want to be riding without one, especially at a younger age. You're still learning everything now. With your bikes, how many of your bikes, if you know, have reflectors on them? So, these. Good. That's good. They come on every bike. Don't ever take those off. When you're on the roads, always stay to the right. Always make sure you're seen. You should have lights if you're ever at night, which should be with your parents at this point. But as you get older, there are things you should know. I, of course, as my wife had mentioned, wherever she went off there, bike across the country. And as I go across, every state has different rules. New Jersey is very strict. You need your helmet, you need reflectors on your bike, and you ride to the right of traffic. You never be within the traffic. But with your skateboards and roller skates, it's the same thing. Wear your helmets. If you fall, anytime you fall, you should talk to your parents, and your helmet should be looked at. Other than that, riding can be very safe, very athletic, and it'll keep you going through the summer. With the
If I could, we're going to save our questions for the end.
the book you went through the other day, did it cover, how many of you ride on the road in East Orange? Okay. How many of you know the hand signals to tell where you're turning? You want to stand up and show? Right in the back, yes. You. Just stand. The kid right there, right in front of you.
Fix and shut it.
If he wants to show the hand
You know
signals.
the signals? No? Okay, maybe he
That's
doesn't know.
what you do? Okay, if you want to stand up, what would you do if you're turning left?
Come here, Daniel.
Be this arm.
The other arm. There you go.
There you go. And if you're turning right, and if you're stopped, that's in front of you, behind you, will just be down. So this way the drivers behind you see you. You can go left, you can go right, and then stop. There's multiple ways.
I know. Good job.
When you put your helmet on, you got to make sure it fits correctly. So with Carter, here you go, buckle. Great helmet, by the way.
Seriously.
So with the helmet on, you don't want it to move on your head. And underneath your chin strap, you can stick. If you put your finger underneath. Your chin strap should not come over your chin, and it should be 1 to 2 fingers underneath is the maximum gap you will have. The helmet, I don't want to move it around on his head to show, but when you have the helmet on your head, if you do this, unstrap, it should not fall off. With your straps, they have to come below your ear, and underneath, you should never fit more than 2 fingers. This way the strap can't come off the front of your head. If it does, when you hit the ground, the helmet does not have any purpose because the strap comes forward and the helmet goes away from you. You need this to stay fixed on your head. Still a great helmet, but other than that, bike safety is very simple.
Yes.
Watch the vehicles, watch your intersections,
Okay.
wear your helmet. Nathan, you can go back. And when you're what's that?
Why do we need the brakes?
On the bike?
All you have to do is just put your foot on the ground.
Depending on the speed you're going,
One time
on that bike, I've gone as fast as 35 miles an hour. So you're not putting your feet on the ground,
No,
doing
that would burn a
35.
hole through your sneaker.
And then some.
Yeah, and then some. It's not safe. It's safer just to use the brake.
When you're on the younger side, you generally may be going on the slower.
When you press the brake,
What's that?
you might fall.
You shouldn't. If you pull them in too hard, you would. But you always use your brakes. This bike is probably different than yours. The brakes are these. But when you do your brakes, it's gentle pressure to slow you down to a stop.
And I got a shark hole.
I've seen those. They're really cool.
I got one.
And you?
I had an electric scooter before, and I let my cousin use it, and then she didn't wear her helmet, and then when she pressed the brake, she fell off the electric scooter.
Which is the perfect example of why you should wear a helmet. Hey, electric scooters, they have, that's like the razor style? They're long, thin with the handles?
Yeah. You turn it and it's an yeah.
Modern day.
Yeah, you don't do this anymore.
The state saying that you have to wear a helmet. When you hit your head, the helmet protects your brain, but it also protects your skull. You can break the skull, as you said. There can be damage to the skin and many other issues going forward. When you wear the helmet, it's like wearing gloves. It protects you from cuts and wounds that can also get infected. So wearing a helmet reduces a lot of risks by large amounts. And without the helmet, you're taking your head and you're going straight into something solid where the helmet creates the buffer. So you want to protect from all of those. Yeah. come down there in a second.
When the helmets, back in the day, one wasn't really good because it was out of leather and it was spaces the meat out of it.
Those were, yes. How many of you know the NFL? Question to ask that everyone I was sure is going to raise their hands. In football, you know the helmets that they're wearing now? They're hard. If you look at a rugby player, which is a parallel football, which is the same as you're talking about, they used to wear these leather skull caps, and they would have ridges on them that were essentially a little bit of padding. It also did reflect the bicycles back in the day. Those prevented more the scratches and abrasions when you hit the ground than the modern helmets protecting the impact. It was still beneficial, but it was not as good as what we have now. And if you get a helmet now, you will need to check the size every year as you go forward. I'm going to go down to that side, but I'll get one last. Go ahead.
That's mine.
Football have helmet.
Yep.
That's not a
Question.
question.
Yeah.
Ask a question. Question. A question.
Okay, going down there. Yep, no problem.
A question. Something that you do not know. That's a question.
Yep.
No. Yes. That you don't know.
Mayor won't.
Dan, repeat the question. We can't hear.
He had asked or mentioned that he wears his helmet every time he gets on a skateboard,
Mayor.
but he hasn't fallen while wearing the helmet. Why is it a good thing that he hasn't fallen but is also wearing the helmet?
That's a good
What are you
question.
doing?
That's a
What are you
good question.
doing?
That is a question.
You're supposed to sit on your bottom. Can you please do that?
Not really, but that could be why he didn't fall. In the back. Yep.
Can you fall one time and that's why?
So he has the helmet in case he falls? That's the reason.
Good answer.
You want to ride your skateboard, your roller skates, your scooters, your bike, and never fall. Everyone wants that. But you always want the helmet for that unfortunate when you will. In 30 years of biking, I've fallen maybe 4 times. 2 were because of cars. And you never know when that's going to happen. I've had a helmet actually split and come off of my head. Just to give you an idea, when you hit the ground, how much force that helmet is protecting your head from. Kind of wish I'd saved the helmet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things that happens.
When you put that signal for your hands, how do you stay on the bike without falling?
When you are moving forward, your bike has a nice balance. So with one hand still on, that's when you may want to put your feet out like you're going to stop. If you're going slow and you start to feel wobbly. But you can always move the hand back to rebalance the bike. We go right over there, I'll be right back. Yeah.
Why don't people use the pad for right here
Skateboard, you should be wearing elbow and knee pads, similar to rollerblades. On bicycles, we don't wear the knee pads and elbow pads because it will depend. I ride on the road, so I'm not on trails where there's a good chance of falling. But when I'm on mountains, a lot of those gentlemen, they do wear pads, and some of them even wear motorcycle helmets when they're riding their bikes. If you watch the Summer Olympics for the BMX team, you'll actually see that. I have a friend in the Olympic trials right now, actually.
Nice.